All right, so I'm Lameek,
I'm Caleb.
I'm AJ.
and we did our basically our culture research video. We're doing it on Spain, and we're just gonna take turns talking about some stuff we learned about Spain and comparing it to things that we're used to and we're accustomed to and stuff. So basically, one thing about Spain that I learned is they're not all Spanish speakers in Spain. Like they have like four different official languages in Spain, and um, it is really more like what region of Spain you're from that that's the type of Spanish you're gonna speak. So it's basically just like in the United States. Like if you live in New York, you're gonna have like a certain type of accent. You're gonna talk a certain way, and it's gonna be different than the language in California or Florida or something. It's all English, but there's just different type of ways you can speak on it.
What I learned about from Spain was the food and how it's different from how we are in America, especially their pizza. The crusts are different and the sauce, and they use different kinds of cheese. And the other thing that I learned about Spain that I didn't really know, most of our most popular singers in the U.S. come from Spain. People like Jennifer Lopez and Enrique Martinez comes from Spain as well. And especially the foreign cars as well. There's a lot of expensive foreign cars in Spain.
All right. So what I learned is relating to their sports is well, we like sports like in America, like football. Spain is more big on bullfighting in their culture. Their country's even like nicknamed the land of bullfighting. Spain, like us, though, also has is very popular with basketball. A lot of basketball players come from Spain.
Basically touching on the subject about like food and whatnot. There's also a lot of different like celebrations in Spain, and like AJ said, they have a celebration which is bullfighting, which is called San Fermin. I think it's called San Fermin, and that's basically the celebrating of the bulls and whatnot. And they also have another celebration called Tomatadia. It's basically when they it's a time of the year where everyone in the country basically buys tomatoes, and they just have like a huge tomato fight. And yeah, they have like a huge tomato fight, and it's usually like about 150,000 tomatoes are thrown at Tomato Dia, and it happens once a year. And you could go online, and they have like a whole website and stuff where they have basically the rules and what to expect and stuff like that. They have it for a lot of their events. They have it for the Day of the Bull racing and fighting and all that too.
Um, One of the famous people from Spain is how we know his name is Pitbull, but his real name is Armando Perez. He's famous for rapping and singing, and basically for his performance. And he really refers back to Spain and keeps it in his roots. And he acknowledges where he comes from. And one of his top five songs is all Spanish speaking, and that's top five songs in America as well. And then also Jennifer Lopez from Spain. She's an amazing performer, actress, singer, and dancer. And she also has one of her top five songs are Spanish speaking songs.
Another thing that's part of the Spain culture that we've inherited as an American culture is the Spanish guitar, which came in during the 1970s, and it moved all the way across from Spain to America, and it's the basic guitar you see every day that almost every guitar player plays. It's what we play now. It's what everyone plays.
Yeah. So in terms of like the culture of like music and stuff, when it comes to Spain, Spain also has a very famous. A lot of people know it as of a dance, but it's more of like a musical style, and it's called flamenco. And a lot of people know about it because like the dance and the tradition for it and whatnot. but it started out as just a musical style, but there could also be dancing implemented into it, and that has a lot to do. Like, my parents are Jamaican, so they like in Jamaica it's really common that there's a style called reggae. It's a musical style and stuff, but there's become, like, over the years and stuff, it's been pushed towards a lot of dancing towards it, and like so it's I can see where it's coming from because it's like that in other countries too. But yeah.
Referring back to food, my parents, African American, mixed with Indian, and we tried different types of food. But one of the hardest foods to cook for us is Spanish food because it has different spices and requires a lot of texture, especially with cheeses, and the type of bread is very specific. It's not the same as how we eat American foods, as we try our best to emulate Spanish foods, but we can't, especially fresh Spanish food. I had the opportunity to have actually Spanish food in DC from a guy that was from Spain, and it's just the spice and the taste and food is different from anything that I had.
Speaking on Spanish culture, like as in the family aspect, I learned that when women marry, they don't change their name. And speaking on the point of religion, about 90-ish% of the population is Roman Catholic.
Roman Catholic.
Yeah, and most of them don't speak on it. Apparently, they're very strong towards their religion, so they don't really talk much about it. They all respect, typically, that they have the same religion.
Yeah. Also, when it comes to Spain and stuff, Spaniards are very fond of food. So, say if you were going to visit a family that lived in Spain and stuff, it's really common and respectful if you were to bring like a type of bread or a wine or something like that. Especially since in Italian dishes and stuff, they really like to implement bread into it. Usually, a family, they usually bring like at least one baguette in their house like a day because they eat bread with like every meal they have. So, and also like the culture is also it's not really the same like in America. Like, if you come, yeah, it's always good if you come to like a dinner and stuff to bring your own stuff, but it's usually not really expected. And also, like, say if you were to go into a bar here, if the floor is dirty in a bar in America, you're gonna think, oh, this is a nasty bar, and you're gonna want to leave. But in Spain, if the bar floor is dirty, they view it as like this is a really good bar, because in Spain it is good tradition, like if you're having a good time, to throw your drink on the floor or something if you're in a bar. So a really messy floor in a bar is usually referring to it as being a really good bar. I don't know if you guys want to talk about anything else, but I'm pretty sure we're done.
One thing that I thought that was pretty cool was the culture and how they greet each other is different than America. They're very charismatic how they greet each other. It's not just a hello, it's always a hug, and then it's like a peck on the cheek. And the way that they interact with you is eye-to-eye contact, and they love to have conversations with each other